Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about men that a lot of people misunderstand. When a man truly wants a relationship, you won't have to decode signals like you're solving a mystery. A man who is serious about you doesn't move like a question mark. He moves like a period. He is clear, steady, and intentional. See, a lot of times people get caught up in words, but a man's real language is his actions. If he wants you, you'll know. If he's unsure, you'll feel confused. And confusion has never been the foundation of love. Consistency is one of the clearest and most powerful signs that a man genuinely wants a relationship, because consistency is not something a person can fake for long. Anybody can show excitement for a few days, send sweet messages for a week, or act attentive when it's convenient, but consistency requires intention, discipline, and emotional investment. When a man is consistent, he shows up in a steady way that doesn't leave you guessing where you stand. His behavior matches his words, and his words match his feelings. You don't feel like you're dealing with two different versions of him depending on the day, his mood, or the situation. Instead, you experience the same energy, the same care, and the same presence again and again, and that repetition is what builds trust. A consistent man doesn't create confusion. He doesn't vanish for days and then reappear with charm as if nothing happened. He doesn't promise to call and then disappear into silence. When he says he will do something, he follows through. That reliability may seem simple, but it is deeply meaningful, because reliability is the foundation of emotional safety. When you know someone will do what they say, your mind can rest. You don't have to analyze every message or question every delay. Consistency removes anxiety and replaces it with calm assurance, and that calm is often the first real sign that you're dealing with someone serious. Consistency also shows emotional maturity. A man who is serious about you understands that a relationship isn't built on intensity alone. It's built on steadiness. Intensity can be exciting, but it can also be temporary. Steadiness is what lasts. A mature man knows that real connection grows through repeated effort, not dramatic gestures. He doesn't rely on big moments to impress you while neglecting the small ones. Instead, he pays attention to the everyday details. He checks on you, remembers things you told him, asks about your day, and makes time for you even when life is busy. These small, steady actions speak louder than grand declarations because they show he's present not just when it's easy, but also when it requires effort. Another important part of consistency is emotional availability. When a man wants a relationship, he doesn't keep you at arm's length emotionally. He doesn't act warm one day and distant the next. His tone, attention, and interest remain balanced. This doesn't mean he never has stressful days or moments of distraction, because everyone does, but even when life is demanding, he doesn't disappear from your life completely. He still finds a way to stay connected. That steady presence shows that you are part of his priorities, not just something he fits in when he has nothing else to do. Consistency is also reflected in how he treats you over time. In the beginning, many people show their best side, but as time passes, their effort fades. A man who truly wants a relationship does the opposite. He maintains his effort because his interest isn't temporary excitement, it's genuine intention. He continues to pursue you, value you, and respect you long after the initial spark. His kindness doesn't fade once he feels comfortable. His attentiveness doesn't disappear once he knows you like him. Instead, his behavior proves that he's not trying to win you quickly. He's trying to build something lasting. It's important to understand that inconsistency often creates emotional instability. When someone is hot and cold, your feelings start to mirror that pattern. One day you feel secure, the next day you feel unsure. That emotional roller coaster can feel intense, and some people mistake that intensity for passion. But real love is not supposed to feel like chaos. Real love feels stable, grounded, and peaceful. A consistent man gives you that peace because you don't have to wonder whether he cares. His actions answer that question daily. Consistency also reveals sincerity. Words can be charming, promises can be convincing, and compliments can be flattering, but only consistent behavior proves authenticity. Anyone can say, "I like you," yet not everyone will act like it consistently. A man who wants a relationship doesn't rely on talk alone. He shows his intentions through repeated action. Over time, those actions form a pattern, and patterns never lie. If he consistently prioritizes you, consistently respects you, and consistently makes an effort, that pattern tells you everything you need to know about his intentions. Another thing about consistency is that it requires choice. Every day, a person chooses how they show up in someone else's life. A man who chooses you again and again is demonstrating that you matter to him. That daily choice is powerful because it shows commitment before the word commitment is ever spoken. He doesn't treat you like an afterthought or a backup plan. He treats you like someone he wants in his life regularly, not occasionally. Consistency is not flashy, but it is priceless. It may not come with dramatic speeches or extravagant gestures, yet it carries more meaning than either of those things. Flashy attention can fade, excitement can cool, and words can be forgotten, but consistent effort leaves a lasting impression because it proves stability. Stability is what turns attraction into trust, and trust is what turns connection into a real relationship. When a man is consistent, you don't feel like you're chasing him, testing him, or trying to figure him out. You feel secure enough to be yourself. You feel relaxed instead of tense. You feel valued instead of uncertain. That emotional experience is the clearest indicator that his intentions are genuine. Consistency is not just a behavior, it is a message. It says, without needing dramatic words, that he is serious, dependable, and truly interested in building something real with you. When a man truly wants a relationship, one of the strongest signs is that he naturally includes you in his future plans. This doesn't always come in the form of dramatic declarations or grand speeches about forever. More often, it shows up in subtle, sincere ways through the things he says and the way he talks about what lies ahead. A man who sees you as temporary usually keeps his future separate from you. He might talk about his goals, his trips, his ambitions, and his plans, but you won't hear yourself mentioned in any of them. On the other hand, when a man is serious, he instinctively starts placing you inside his tomorrow. He speaks in terms of when, instead of just I, and that shift in language reveals a shift in mindset. Future inclusion is powerful because it reflects intention. People don't plan long-term with someone they don't see lasting. Planning requires thought, and thought requires emotional investment. When he talks about things he wants to do months from now, and you are part of that picture, it means he's already imagining you still being there. That imagination is not accidental. It means he's emotionally considering you as a stable presence in his life. Even small examples can carry big meaning. If he mentions wanting to attend an event later in the year and says he wants you there, or talks about a place he wants to visit with you someday, he's revealing that he expects you to still be around. Men don't attach someone to their future vision unless they want them to stay. This sign also shows emotional security. A man who includes you in his plans isn't afraid of commitment or closeness. He's comfortable letting you see that he's thinking ahead with you in mind. That comfort signals that he's not trying to keep things casual or undefined. Instead, he's letting you know that he's building something and he wants you to be part of what he's building. He's not worried that talking about the future will scare you away because he's not trying to keep things shallow. He's trying to deepen the connection. That willingness to look ahead together is a reflection of confidence in both his feelings and your bond. Including you in his future also means he values your presence in his life beyond the present moment. Some people enjoy someone's company only when it's convenient or exciting, but they don't picture that person as part of their long-term story. A serious man is different. He doesn't just enjoy you now, he anticipates you later. He thinks about how you fit into his life goals, his lifestyle, and his dreams. He considers your role not just in his weekends, but in his journey. That kind of thinking shows depth of feeling because it means he's not focused only on what you bring him today. He's thinking about what life looks like with you beside him over time. Another thing about future planning is that it often appears naturally, not forced. He doesn't sit down and make a formal announcement about his intentions. Instead, it slips into conversation casually because it's genuinely how he sees things. He might say, "We should try that restaurant next month," or "I want you to meet my friends when they visit," or "I can't wait for us to experience that together." These aren't rehearsed lines. They're spontaneous reflections of how his mind is already including you in what lies ahead. When a man speaks like that, he's not testing the waters. He's expressing what he already feels. This behavior also demonstrates seriousness because planning involves responsibility. When someone makes plans that include another person, they're acknowledging that their choices affect more than just themselves. A man who wants a relationship accepts that responsibility willingly. He doesn't avoid it or act hesitant about it. Instead, he embraces the idea of shared experiences and shared time. That willingness shows he's not trying to keep his options open or maintain consistency only when it suits him. He's choosing to align his path with yours, and that alignment is a strong indicator of commitment. Future inclusion can also be seen in how he reacts when you talk about your own plans. A man who wants a relationship doesn't act indifferent or detached when you mention your goals or upcoming events. He listens, asks questions, and shows interest because he wants to understand where you're headed. He wants to see how he fits into your life just as much as he wants you in his. That mutual curiosity is important because it reflects partnership. He's not just thinking about his future anymore. He's thinking about a shared future, and that mindset is what transforms dating into something meaningful. It's worth noting that including someone in future plans isn't about rushing or forcing commitment. It's not about setting timelines or making promises too soon. It's about the natural way someone speaks and thinks when they genuinely see you as part of their life. When a man wants a relationship, his vision automatically expands to include you. He doesn't have to be reminded to consider you. He does it instinctively because you matter to him. That instinct is what makes this sign so genuine. It isn't performative, and it isn't calculated. It's simply the honest reflection of someone who has already made space for you in his world and is quietly showing you that he intends for you to stay there. Respect is one of the clearest indicators that a man genuinely wants a relationship, because respect is not something that can be faked for long or offered halfway. It is reflected in tone, behavior choices, and reactions, especially during moments when things are not perfect. A man who truly wants you doesn't just admire you when you agree with him or when everything feels light and easy. He respects you even when you disagree, even when you set boundaries, and even when you challenge him. That kind of respect shows that he values you as a person, not just as someone who makes him feel good. It means he recognizes your individuality, your thoughts, your limits, and your worth, and he treats all of those things as important. Real respect often reveals itself in small, everyday interactions. It's in how he listens when you speak, whether he lets you finish your thoughts without interrupting, and whether he remembers what you share with him. Listening is one of the purest forms of respect because it shows that he believes your voice matters. A man who wants a relationship pays attention not only to your words, but also to your feelings. He notices when your mood shifts, when something bothers you, or when something excites you. He doesn't dismiss your emotions or label them as dramatic or unnecessary. Instead, he acknowledges them because he understands that your emotional world is just as real and important as his own. Respect also shows in how he handles your boundaries. Boundaries are personal lines that define what you are comfortable with. And a man who truly wants a relationship never treats those lines as obstacles to overcome. He treats them as guidelines to honor. If you say you need time, he gives you time. If you say something makes you uncomfortable, he adjusts his behavior. He doesn't pressure, guilt, or manipulate you into changing your limits. That willingness to respect boundaries demonstrates patience and emotional maturity. It shows that he values your comfort more than his convenience, and that is a powerful sign of genuine intention. Another dimension of respect is how he speaks to you, especially during disagreements. Anyone can be kind when things are smooth, but respect is truly tested when tension appears. A man who wants a relationship doesn't resort to insults, sarcasm meant to hurt, or dismissive language when he's upset. He may disagree, he may feel frustrated, but he still chooses his words carefully because he doesn't want to damage you emotionally. He understands that arguments are temporary, but words can linger. So even in conflict, he maintains a level of care in how he communicates. That restraint is not weakness, it is emotional intelligence. It shows he's thinking beyond the moment and protecting the connection he wants to keep. Respect is also visible in how he values your time. Time is one of the most precious things a person can give, and a man who is serious about you treats your time as meaningful. He doesn't constantly cancel plans at the last minute or keep you waiting without explanation. He doesn't assume you'll always be available whenever he decides to show up. Instead, he makes plans thoughtfully and follows through because he understands that your time deserves consideration. That awareness signals that he sees you as important, not optional. A respectful man also supports your independence. He doesn't try to control your choices, isolate you from others, or make you feel guilty for having your own life. He encourages your goals, your friendships, and your passions because he wants you to grow, not shrink. When a man wants a real relationship, he doesn't feel threatened by your strength or your individuality. He appreciates those qualities because he admires who you are. He understands that a healthy relationship is made of two whole individuals, not one person overshadowing the other. Another powerful sign of respect is how he talks about you when you're not around. A man who truly values you speaks about you with pride and kindness, whether you're present or not. He doesn't joke about you in a way that undermines you, and he doesn't reveal your private matters to others for entertainment or attention. He protects your dignity because your reputation matters to him. That protective instinct isn't about control, it's about care. It shows that he wants others to see you the way he sees you, as someone worthy of appreciation. Respect also means honesty. A man who wants a relationship doesn't lie to keep you around or tell half-truths to avoid responsibility. He understands that honesty is essential for trust, and trust is essential for something real. Even when the truth is uncomfortable, he chooses transparency because he knows deception weakens connection. That willingness to be truthful shows courage and sincerity, both of which are necessary for a lasting bond. Perhaps most importantly, respect creates emotional safety. When you feel respected, you feel free to be yourself. You don't feel like you have to walk on eggshells, hide parts of your personality, or constantly worry about being judged. You feel accepted, valued, and understood. A man who wants a relationship wants you to feel that safety because he wants the real you, not a filtered version. He doesn't want a performance, he wants authenticity. And authenticity can only exist where respect is present. Respect is not loud or flashy, yet it is one of the strongest forms of affection a man can show. It appears in patience, consideration, tone, honesty, and consistency of behavior. When a man respects you deeply, he is showing you that he doesn't just like you, he values you. And when someone truly values you, they don't treat you carelessly. They treat you with intention, mindfulness, and care because they understand that what they have with you is something meaningful, something rare, and something worth preserving. When a man truly wants a relationship, one of the most revealing signs is that he brings you into his world and introduces you to the people who matter to him. This action may seem simple on the surface, but emotionally it carries deep meaning because it shows that he is not trying to keep you hidden, separate, or compartmentalized. Instead, he is blending you into the life he has already built. A man who is serious about you doesn't feel the need to keep you a secret or place you in a private corner of his life that no one else can see. He wants the people he trusts and values to know you because in his mind you are not temporary. You are someone he sees as important, and when something is important to a man, he naturally wants it acknowledged. Introducing you to his friends is often one of the first steps. Friends usually know his personality, his habits, his past, and his standards. When he brings you around them, he is allowing you to see him in his natural environment. He's not just showing you off. He's opening the door to his real world. This shows confidence because he isn't afraid of how you and his circle will interact. He's comfortable letting those parts of his life overlap. Men who are unsure or not serious often keep those worlds separate because separation keeps things casual. Integration, on the other hand, signals intention. When he blends you into his existing life, instead of keeping you on the outside, he's silently saying that he wants you to be part of his reality, not just part of his free time. Meeting family carries even deeper meaning. Family represents roots, history, and identity. When a man introduces you to his family, he's showing vulnerability and pride at the same time. Vulnerability because family opinions matter and pride because he wants them to see who he's chosen. This step is rarely random. Most men do not bring someone home unless they see potential for something lasting. It's a sign that he's not only thinking about how he feels about you, but also how you fit into his life long term. He wants the people who raised him or shaped him to know you because in his mind you might become a permanent part of his story. This action also reflects emotional transparency. A man who wants a relationship isn't trying to keep different versions of his life hidden from each other. He's not worried that introducing you will complicate things because he's not juggling multiple priorities or secret situations. Instead, he wants clarity and openness. By letting you meet his circle, he's showing that he has nothing to hide and nothing to conceal. Transparency like that builds trust because it removes doubt. You don't feel like you're in the shadows or wondering where you stand. You feel acknowledged, recognized, and included. Inclusion is powerful because it creates a sense of belonging. When he invites you into a social world, he's telling you that you belong there. He's not treating you like an outsider who has to earn a place. He's offering you a place because he wants you there. That feeling of being welcomed into someone's life is deeply meaningful because it shows acceptance. He's not just enjoying you privately, he's proud of you publicly. Pride is an important element here. A man who truly values you doesn't hesitate to be seen with you or to let others know you're important to him. He carries himself differently when he's proud of the person beside him. Another layer to this sign is trust. Introducing you to people close to him means he trusts you enough to share his personal world. His inner circle likely knows details about his life, his past experiences, his struggles, and his dreams. By bringing you into that circle, he's allowing you access to that deeper layer of himself. Trust is never given lightly, and when it's offered, it signals emotional seriousness. He's not guarding himself from you. He's opening himself to you. That openness is a strong indicator that he wants something real rather than something temporary. It also shows that he's thinking about harmony between you and his life as a whole. A man who wants a relationship doesn't want to live separate lives. He wants a life that connects. He wants the important parts of his world to coexist peacefully, and that includes you. He pays attention to how you interact with the people he cares about because he's imagining what it would be like if you were always around. He's not just focused on how you make him feel alone, he's observing how you fit into his environment. That observation is not judgmental, but intentional. It reflects that he's thinking ahead, considering compatibility beyond just the two of you. Being introduced also changes how others see you, and he knows that. Once his friends or family know about you, your presence becomes acknowledged and real in his social life. That public acknowledgement carries weight because it shows he isn't afraid of commitment or perception. He's comfortable letting people associate your name with his. That level of openness usually comes from certainty, not hesitation. Men who are unsure tend to delay introductions, make excuses, or keep things vague. A man who wants a relationship does the opposite. He moves naturally toward inclusion because it feels right to him. This kind of action is meaningful because it's intentional without needing dramatic words. He may not always sit down and declare his feelings in a speech, but his behavior communicates them clearly. Inviting you into his world is his way of saying you matter, you're important, and you're someone he wants around for more than just a moment. It shows that he doesn't see you as a passing chapter, but as someone who could become part of the main story. And when a man willingly opens the doors to his personal life and says, in effect, come meet my people, what he's really saying underneath is that he sees you as someone worth keeping, worth showing, and worth building something real with. Clear and honest communication is one of the strongest signs that a man genuinely wants a relationship because communication is the bridge between feelings and reality. A man who is serious about you does not leave you guessing where you stand or trying to interpret mixed signals. He understands that confusion creates distance, while clarity creates connection. When his intentions are real, he does not rely on silence, avoidance, or mind games to keep your attention. Instead, he speaks directly, expresses himself openly, and makes sure you understand what he feels and what he wants. This kind of communication is not just about talking often. It is about talking sincerely, respectfully, and with purpose. A man who wants a relationship values emotional transparency. He does not hide behind vague responses or disappear when conversations become meaningful. If something is on his mind, he shares it. If he is unsure about something, he admits it. If he cares about you, he tells you. That openness is a sign of confidence, not weakness. It shows that he is comfortable being emotionally present instead of emotionally guarded. Many people avoid honest communication because they fear vulnerability, but a man who wants something real understands that vulnerability is necessary for connection. He is willing to be open because he knows that a relationship cannot grow in silence or uncertainty. Clear communication also means consistency in expression. His words match his actions, and his actions reinforce his words. When he says he misses you, he shows it through effort. When he says you matter to him, he treats you in a way that reflects that statement. There is alignment between what he says and what he does, and that alignment creates trust. Without it, words feel empty. With it, words gain weight. A man who is serious does not just tell you what you want to hear. He tells you what he genuinely feels, even when it is simple or understated. He does not rely on exaggerated promises or dramatic language. Instead, he focuses on honesty because honesty builds something that exaggeration never can: stability. Another important aspect of communication is responsiveness. A man who wants a relationship does not ignore you for long stretches without explanation or respond only when it is convenient for him. He understands that communication is a form of presence, and presence is a form of care. This does not mean he must be available every second, because everyone has responsibilities and obligations, but it does mean he makes an effort to stay connected. He acknowledges your messages, returns your calls, and checks in with you because he wants you to feel considered. His responsiveness shows that he is thinking about you even when you are not physically together, and that awareness is a quiet but powerful expression of interest. Honest communication is especially noticeable during difficult conversations. When something goes wrong or tension arises, a man who wants a relationship does not shut down or disappear. He does not avoid the issue or pretend nothing happened. Instead, he faces it with maturity. He listens, explains his perspective, and tries to understand yours. He may not always have the perfect words, but he shows willingness to communicate rather than escape. That willingness matters because relationships are not defined by perfect moments. They are defined by how people handle imperfect ones. A man who communicates through challenges is showing that he values resolution more than ego. Communication also reveals emotional investment. A man who asks about your thoughts, your day, your opinions, and your feelings is demonstrating genuine curiosity about who you are. He does not limit conversations to surface topics or keep things shallow. He wants to understand you, not just interact with you. He remembers details you share, brings up things you mentioned before, and engages in conversations that help him know you more deeply. That level of attentiveness shows that he is not just passing time with you. He is building understanding, and understanding is the foundation of closeness. Another sign of clear communication is that he defines things instead of leaving them vague. He does not keep you in a gray area where you are unsure whether you are important to him or just an option. If he wants a relationship, he makes that intention known. He does not rely on hints or indirect signals. He states his feelings and his goals because he does not want you to question them. That clarity shows respect as well as seriousness. It tells you that he values your peace of mind and does not want you to feel uncertain about his place in your life. Direct communication also reduces anxiety. When someone is clear, you do not feel the need to analyze every message or search for hidden meanings. You feel calm because you know where you stand. A man who wants a relationship wants you to feel that calm. He does not want you to feel insecure or doubtful because he understands that a healthy connection grows best in an atmosphere of reassurance and honesty. By communicating openly, he creates that atmosphere. He gives you confidence in his intentions simply through the way he interacts with you. It is important to recognize that communication is not only about speaking, it is also about listening. A man who truly wants a relationship listens carefully when you talk. He does not interrupt, dismiss, or minimize what you say. He pays attention because he cares about your perspective. Listening shows respect, patience, and interest all at once. It proves that he values your voice and wants to understand your world, not just share his own. That balanced exchange of speaking and listening is what turns conversation into connection. Clear communication is ultimately a reflection of sincerity. When a man communicates openly, directly, and consistently, he is showing that he is not playing games or hiding intentions. He is showing that he wants something real, something stable, and something honest. Words alone do not create a relationship, but truthful words supported by genuine actions create a strong emotional foundation. And when a man chooses clarity over confusion, honesty over avoidance, and openness over silence, he is revealing through his communication that he is not just interested in you for the moment. He is interested in building something meaningful that can truly last. Effort is one of the most undeniable signs that a man truly wants a relationship, because effort requires intention, energy, and choice. Interest can exist without action, attraction can exist without commitment, and words can exist without sincerity, but effort cannot exist without genuine motivation. When a man consistently puts in effort, he is showing you through his behavior that you matter to him in a real and tangible way. Effort is love in motion. It is feelings translated into visible actions. Anyone can say they care, but only someone who truly does will repeatedly show it through what they do. A man who wants a relationship does not treat you like something he can pick up and put down whenever he feels like it. He invests time in you, and time is one of the most valuable things a person can give because it is something that can never be replaced. When he chooses to spend his time with you, talk to you, plan with you, and be present with you, he is choosing you over all the other things he could be doing. That choice speaks volumes. It shows that you are not just an option he considers. When he is bored, you are someone he prioritizes because being with you is important to him. Effort also appears in the way he pursues you emotionally. A man who wants a relationship does not expect you to carry the connection alone. He does not leave you to initiate every conversation, make every plan, or sustain every interaction. Instead, he meets you halfway or even steps forward first. He texts you, calls you, checks on you, and reaches out because he wants to stay connected. That initiative is a powerful sign of intention because it shows that he is not waiting to see if you will keep things going. He is actively participating in building the bond. Relationships thrive when both people contribute, and a man who puts in effort understands that connection is something you create together, not something one person maintains alone. Another form of effort is thoughtfulness. When a man cares deeply, he pays attention to details about you and uses that knowledge to make you feel valued. He remembers things you mention in passing, like your favorite snack, a movie you wanted to watch, or something important happening in your life. Then he acts on those details. He might surprise you with something small that shows he listened, or he might check in on you when he knows you are dealing with something stressful. These gestures may seem simple, but they carry deep meaning because they show attentiveness. Thoughtfulness is proof that he is not just hearing you, he is truly listening and remembering. Effort is especially visible when circumstances are not easy. It is simple for someone to be attentive when everything is convenient, but real effort shows when life becomes busy, stressful, or complicated. A man who wants a relationship does not disappear when things get demanding. He may have responsibilities, challenges, or obligations, but he still finds ways to stay present in your life. Even if he cannot spend as much time as he would like, he communicates, reassures, and shows that you are still on his mind. That persistence demonstrates dedication. It shows that his connection to you is not dependent on convenience. It is rooted in genuine desire. Consistency strengthens effort and makes it meaningful. Anyone can try hard once, but lasting effort is what reveals true intention. When a man continues to show up, continue to care, and continue to invest over time, it becomes clear that his actions are not temporary bursts of enthusiasm. They are part of his character and his feelings. Consistent effort builds trust because it proves reliability. You begin to understand that you can depend on him, not just in exciting moments, but in ordinary ones too. That reliability is comforting, and comfort is a sign that something real is growing. Effort also shows in how he supports you. A man who wants a relationship is not only present for the fun and easy moments, he is also present when you need encouragement, reassurance, or understanding. He celebrates your achievements, motivates you when you doubt yourself, and stands beside you when you face difficulties. He does not see your struggles as inconveniences. Instead, he sees them as moments when he can be there for you. That supportive presence shows emotional investment because it means he cares about your well-being, not just about how you make him feel. Planning is another clear expression of effort. When a man makes plans with you, whether they are simple or elaborate, he is demonstrating that he wants to create shared experiences. He does not leave everything vague or last minute. He thinks ahead, suggests ideas, and looks forward to spending time together. Planning shows foresight, and foresight shows seriousness. It indicates that he is not treating your connection as something casual or uncertain. He is intentionally creating moments that bring you closer because he values the time you share. Effort also reflects respect. When someone puts effort into you, they are acknowledging your worth. They are saying through their actions that you deserve attention, care, and consideration. A man who truly wants a relationship does not make you feel like you have to beg for his time or attention. He gives it willingly. He does not make you feel like you are asking for too much when you want communication or affection. Instead, he offers those things naturally because he understands that they are part of maintaining a meaningful bond. One of the most telling things about effort is that it cannot be forced for long. Genuine effort comes from genuine feeling. If a man is putting in real effort consistently, it is because he truly wants to. People do not invest energy into something they do not value. Effort requires intention, and intention reveals desire. When he keeps showing up, keeps trying, and keeps investing in the connection, he is demonstrating through action that you are someone he wants in his life. That demonstration is powerful because actions are honest. Words can be rehearsed, promises can be exaggerated, but effort is visible truth. Effort is ultimately a language of commitment before commitment is officially spoken. It is how a man shows that he is not just interested in the idea of you, but invested in the reality of you. It proves that he is willing to give his time, his attention, and his energy because he believes what he has with you is worth it. And when someone consistently chooses to invest themselves in you, they are silently but clearly revealing that they do not just want your presence for a moment. They want your presence as part of something real, something meaningful, and something that continues to grow stronger with time.